Hey there, it's Sven and I am back with another art process video. Um, Please, right off the bat, pardon any weird things that might be going on with my voice in this voiceover. Having some trouble recently because I talk all day at work and it's allergy season. And I'm also getting used to speaking in my natural register rather than the upper register that I've used in past videos. So um, my voice has been a little bit raspy and cracking a bit more than usual. It goes out at work a lot lately. Uh, so just please pardon that. Any weird sounds I might get every now and then as I talk. Um, this video obviously is a bit on the longer side because I really wanted to get it all down into one video and not split this one up. The original screen cap for this video actually is over 10 hours long before I sped it up without breaks. I actually had to speed it up quite a bit to get it to a manageable time, obviously. And I've said before, 30 minutes is about my limit on these kinds of things. Yeah, that's too long. So yeah, the character that is being drawn today is actually not my character. This character actually belongs to my friend Alec, who I met in the D&D server that I have LaRue and Menhid in. This is his character, his primary character I should say, and I've actually talked about this character previously in LaRue's videos. This is the human abjuration wizard, Tiyun. We love Tiyun. In my voiceover today, I'm going to just, talk a little bit about Tiyun as a character, from what I understand, my impression of him, and how my own PCs think of Tiyun and their relationships a little bit. I'm not going to be going into any details about Tiyun's backstory because I didn't think it would be appropriate. Alec didn't give me too many details he wanted me to share, so I'm just gonna stick with what I have seen. I'm not going to be reading the backstory that Tiyun told in the RP chat, out of respect. So my voiceover is not going to be as long as I'd like, which just means that you won't have to listen to me talk for as long, which I think is good. As always, I sincerely hope you enjoy this video. Please don't forget to let me know what you think. I appreciate any feedback. So this piece is actually, it was Alec's birthday present. Usually I don't do full color for gifts. That is something that generally I reserve for commissions only, for reasons, but I got really into this piece and I might be getting something back for it, so I really went full out, and I had so much fun drawing this. It was an absolute joy to draw Tiyun, and it was just so much fun. Much thanks to Alec for being so responsive to the different versions that I presented, and how I constantly check in with everything. It was like every 2 days I was sending him something like, hey, what do you think of this? This is where I am now. How do you feel about it? He gave the best feedback of anybody that there's been one person who gave more feedback, but they're a perfectionist. But it was, honestly, it was great feedback. If I knew more people who would give feedback in the way that Alec did, I'd probably take commissions more often, but most people don't, and it always frustrates me and I kind of hate it. So it was great working on this piece, and this actually was the first piece that I worked on with some of the equipment that I got. Recently I got a Huion Kamvas 16 Pro, which was so nice to work with. I actually got it right after I finished the sketch. No, yeah, right after I finished the sketches, and I broke it out, did my little testing on it, trying to see how everything would work, and it was great. Figured it out, got it calibrated, and was like, yep, we're doing this, and dove right in there. Um, it was absolutely great. It definitely tied into why this took so long, because I was trying so many different things out and getting really excited about it. Playing around a good bit with different features. um, um, so I've talked about Tiyun in a couple other videos, mostly because he is friends with LaRue. But I think I may have spoken about him in Menhit's video as well, because he's actually a bit of a big brother figure for Menhit, even if he doesn't realize it. In this house here, we love Tiyun. He's a sweetheart, and I really loved drawing this piece for Alec. Obviously, I love Tiyun. I love the character and everything that he's about. This was so much fun. Tiyun is a human in his mid-30s with brown hair and blue eyes. I believe he's on the smaller side. I think he might be under 6 feet tall, and he definitely has a lower strength score, which is actually mildly terrifying considering his boyfriend is an 8-foot tall Goliath, Craval. Oh dear. This is something that comes up a lot in this server. In my mind, Ty has always been one of those very traditionally handsome kind of people, which is funny because when I was working on this, somewhere in the middle part, no, closer to the end, there was a point where I told Alec that I felt like my interpretation was kind of starting to look like Roman Jesus, if you know what I mean. The features, I don't know what it was. I still kind of feel that way. Tiyun is a pretty mysterious character actually, even though he has shared, I think, part of his backstory, but not all of it. He is a bit on the reserved side. His backstory is pretty sad and resulted in what I consider to be an understandable distaste for orcs. I mean, they took everything from him. I don't want to get into it, like I said, but honestly, knowing the backstory, I understand. So, Tiyun was a bit more sheltered in his previous life before joining the guild hall, and I mean, his family seemed to be everything that he had, and orcs took it. Just completely gone. So Ty tends not to talk much about himself or his plans as much as other people that I've noticed. Almost like he doesn't want the attention that talking about what he's thinking of doing might bring. Based on a few of Alec's RP chat submissions, I'd say that Tiyun definitely has some underlying ulterior motives that other PCs would definitely not be okay with. Honestly, LaRue would be perfectly fine with it if he would tell her, considering evil PC, but he just doesn't talk about it all that much, and I guess I get it. But he also has a tendency to be a bit on the sneaky side. Which I'll go into that later. In all honesty though, like seeing all of this, I still love the character. I can't not love the character. He is a sweetheart when it matters, and he's so caring, and even with his penchant for eavesdropping, he comes off very genuine, and there's something about the character that I absolutely love that makes me want to hug him. From what I understand, Huion started studying magic and became a wizard like right before he joined the Adventurers Guild after losing his home. I don't know if there was any time in between there. Alec has never really specified how Tiyun got into the arcane, but honestly I'd be really interested to learn how that happened. And despite being level 13, sometimes spells just don't go right for Tiyun. As per Alec, Tai is prone to unleashing AoE spells with unintentionally harmful effects on his friends and boyfriend. Which is very true. Some of his AoE is just kind of like, okay, oops. It's been, oh dear. Oh, I can't say anything though. I've done the same thing. It's kind of like, oh, sorry, this is gonna be happening by the way. Less apologetic about it though. But I mean, the spells that he does land tend to go really, really well. Like, there's this one that he's used a couple of times called Steelwind Strike, I think, that has actually saved our asses multiple times. Like, we were completely fucked. I don't know if I put a curse warning at the beginning of this video. I'm sorry. Yeah, cussing. So yeah, we have been absolutely fucked, like completely outnumbered. It seems like we're not gonna win, or someone's gonna die or something, and he breaks out this thing and he uses this little -1 dagger that he found really early on in the server, like a really long time ago, and he just wham. Pardon my weird sound effect, but it's actually really cool. The first time he used it, he killed like 8 baddies, I think. I don't remember. It was a lot though, and Torbrick, who I've also talked about, our Dwarven Binder, just stopped and was like, "You're my favorite wizard now." I remember this so vividly. I mean, and that's a lot coming from Torbrick, because Torbrick doesn't get along with anybody. Not really. He puts up with people. And Tai actually spends a lot of his time studying, like more than I'd expect. So he's always studying and working on his spell book, and so usually he has a lot of ink stains on his hands from writing so much and rewriting things. And he recently got a floating spell book, the one that's here. He started working on it in the RP chat, and it was actually a really amazing submission. Wow, blown away. So Tai is obviously a member of who I call, well, now it's the Big Five in the guild. Torbrick, LaRue, Yavik, Craval, and Tiyun are the 5 highest ranking members of the guild at this time. I used to include our baby druid Toybake, but we haven't seen him in a few months, and he's fallen quite a bit behind, so I don't know if I consider him part of the Big Five anymore, especially considering there are actually other characters who have surpassed him at this point. Kind of sad not seeing him anymore. I love that baby druid. Menhit took a shine to Tiyun pretty early on in their relationship because of the very kind personality that Tiyun has. They went on a few missions together pretty early on, and since he seemed pretty frail to her, she kind of wanted to make sure that he made it through and he, you know, was able to keep going in the guild, and he did. Like I said, now he's one of the highest ranking members of the guild. And Tiyun actually has a woodpecker familiar, which you can also see in this image, named Walder, and Menhit likes to play with Walder. Despite what people think and that she is a tabaxi, Menhit doesn't want to eat Walder. I kind of imagine that she has this innate knowledge that Walder is a fey creature, Like, she just knew it when she saw him the first time. And Walter seems to know that she knows that and isn't gonna hurt him, which I think is really great. There have been a few times where something's happening, and I don't remember all of exactly what it would be, but like one time she got hit pretty hard with something that like froze her pretty much, and so she was shivery in the guild hall afterwards because it wasn't that far from the guild, and she's sitting there all shivery in a blanket, and Tiyun has Walter pop over onto her leg and kind of keep her company. It was so cute. And she asked for soup, and Walter was like, "I shall get you soup." Goes over, starts drumming on a bowl to get attention. It was so cute. I love Walter. And since Menhit is actually pretty close with Craval, it's kind of rubbed off on her being close with Tiyun as well. Like, she sees Craval as well as this older sibling figure who she's supposed to respect and take advice from, and especially with Tai being much more mature than her and so much smarter, Menhit sees him as an authority figure. So in times when she's having a hard time, sometimes she'll go to Tiyun to see if he can give her some advice, and especially recently he's been really filling this elderly brother role that Menhit doesn't even realize that she needs. He's helped her get through such emotional situations, especially recently, and things that have been so hard, and it's honestly, it kind of it makes me emotional because this is my character and I see this bond that's happening. It's happening all on its own, and there are times when I have this feeling that maybe they both need that feeling of found family that the guild is providing, and it's kind of providing this healing process for them, at least a little bit. And like, Tiyun recently told Menhit his habit of spying on people to get information and hear things, and I don't think he was expecting her to be accepting of it, but she really didn't care. Menhit just likes Tiyun and wants to be his friend and wants to be around him, and that's all that really matters to her. And I kind of love this relationship that they've kind of formed. It just makes me really happy. LaRue, on the other hand, didn't care all that much for Tiyun when they first met. She was definitely mildly suspicious of him at first, and just didn't really like him. But over time, he has definitely grown on her, obviously, and I like to think that they kind of have this, at least a budding form of the sibling relationship that comes when found family, kind of like what Menhit and Tiyun have, but really not in the same vein, because the way that they interact is very different. I do think that this kind of came about at least partly because they're actually pretty close in age. Tiyun is about 35, and I've always had LaRue a little bit younger, in her early 30s, so their age difference is actually very similar to LaRue's with her older sibling. So I think that definitely took part in the closeness that kind of developed, and they definitely ended up bonding because they're both always in the back of the party, on the edge of the map, taking long shots at the enemies. They are the ranged people, so they're always kind of around each other in the heat of the moment, in the thick of battle. And I do remember I remember this one moment. I don't remember anything about this fight, but this moment. They were in this fight and they were trying to kill something. I think it had like gotten through our frontliners and was on the way to them or something, and they like killed it together. And after it was dead, I don't know if it was at the end of the fight or not, Tiyun turned to LaRue and hugged her. And that was kind of this moment that kind of clicked. Because like as a player, it was so unexpected. LaRue was kind of standoffish to everybody else other than being hashtag Team Mom, because I am hashtag Team Mom. All of my characters are Team Mom. But she had only really shown any kind of interest in being close to Kamvas and Trindis. And this moment of like getting this hug kind of felt like this point of LaRue going, okay, I can get to know this person as well. I can get along with them. And over time, it's kind of developed where there's this vulnerability that she kind of automatically feels with Tiyun and Kamvas, especially with having already shared her backstory to them. And watching Kamvas slowly fall for Ty has definitely furthered this feeling of mild vulnerability, definite, like, I like these people. To the point where she's actually 100% willing to die, actively die, for 3 people in the guild. Just 3, Kamvas, Trindis, and Tiyun. Ty has helped her so much. At one point she got bit by a were-tiger and he was the one to be like, nope, you're not okay, we're getting you fixed. Oh, I almost cried in the voice chat when that happened. Then the relationship that LaRue thinks that she has with Tiyun is definitely more friendly in her mind than found family, mostly because she's just not looking for family. As far as LaRue is concerned, family is shitty to you. They don't care about you. And these people do. The people, her allies in the guild, actually give a shit about her, unlike her terrible family back in Whitemere. And I think there's going to be this point where she starts opening up to this idea of them being family, but she's just not really there right now. But it's, at least in my mind, they've definitely hit that point already, her and Tiyun. Okay, I just ran out of steam. I don't think there's anything else that I have to talk about today. Yeah, I think there's still a good bit to go, but I think I'm done. I can't think of anything else to talk about, so I'm just gonna let the video play out and continue. I don't have to listen to me anymore. As usual, there will be links in the description box below to my music sources, my video editor, and my Instagram, if you would like to visit any of those sites. If you end up sticking around to the end and happen to enjoy watching my process, please consider liking the video, and don't forget to say hi in the comments. I will do my best to say hi back. I appreciate any feedback that you may have or anything you might want to say. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye.